Have you ever heard about a man who stared death in the face and walked away without a scratch? What if I told you he survived a den of hungry lions, interpreted dreams that baffled kings, and saw visions of the end of days? This is not fiction. This is the story of Daniel, a young exile in a foreign land, chosen by God to stand before empires, defy tyrants, and speak truth to power. If you're into stories of divine intervention, political intrigue, unshakable faith, and yes, lions, then this story is going to grip you from beginning to end. So stick around. You won't want to miss what happens when a man chooses faith over fear. And if you're enjoying deep cinematic biblical stories like this, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell, because we've got plenty more coming. It all begins in Jerusalem. In the 3rd year of King Jehoiakim's reign, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, besieged the holy city. The temple treasures were taken, and so were the best of Israel's youth, young men of nobility, intelligence, and strength. Among them was Daniel. Torn from his homeland and thrust into the glittering courts of Babylon, Daniel was selected to be trained in the language and literature of the Chaldeans. They changed his name to Belteshazzar and tried to mold him into a Babylonian. But Daniel made a quiet, powerful choice. He would not defile himself with the king's food or wine. With wisdom and courage, he requested vegetables and water instead, and God honored him. After 10 days, Daniel and his friends looked healthier than all the others. God granted them knowledge and understanding, and to Daniel alone, the ability to interpret dreams. One night, King Nebuchadnezzar was troubled by a dream so disturbing that he demanded all his wise men tell him what he dreamed, without him saying a word. When no one could, he ordered them all to be executed, including Daniel. But Daniel, calm and faithful, prayed to God, and the mystery was revealed to him in a vision at night. He stood before the king and described the dream perfectly. A massive statue, head of gold, chest of silver, belly of bronze, legs of iron, feet of iron and clay, and a stone not cut by human hands that crushed it all. It was a prophecy of kingdoms to come, and of one eternal kingdom that would never fall. Nebuchadnezzar fell on his face and declared, "Truly, your God is the God of gods and the Lord of kings." Daniel was promoted, and his friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, were given high positions. But the story doesn't stop there. The king, intoxicated with power, built a 90-foot golden image and commanded all to worship it. Daniel's 3 friends refused. They were thrown into a blazing furnace, so hot it killed the men who threw them in. But when the king looked, he saw 4 men walking unharmed in the fire, and the 4th looked like a son of the gods. When they came out, not even a hair on their heads was singed. Another miracle, another declaration: there is no other God who can save like this. Years passed. Daniel remained in Babylon, serving faithfully. One day, Nebuchadnezzar had another dream, this time of a great tree that was cut down. Daniel interpreted it with sorrow. The king would lose his mind and live like a wild beast until he acknowledged that the Most High rules over all. And it came to pass. The mighty king was driven from men, eating grass like oxen, until he lifted his eyes to heaven and praised God. His sanity returned, and he was restored, this time a humble man. Decades later, Belshazzar, a proud and reckless descendant, defiled the temple vessels in a drunken feast. Suddenly, a hand appeared, writing on the wall, "Mene, mene, tekel parsin." The terrified king called Daniel. With gravity and boldness, Daniel interpreted the writing. "God has numbered your days. You have been weighed and found wanting. Your kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians." That very night, the prophecy was fulfilled. Belshazzar was killed. The empire fell. Now, under Persian rule, King Darius favored Daniel, so much so that others grew jealous. They tricked the king into signing a law. For 30 days, no one could pray to any god or man but the king. Daniel, as always, stayed faithful. 3 times a day he prayed at his window, knowing the penalty. He was thrown into a den of lions, but God shut the lions' mouths. At dawn, the king rushed to the den and cried out, "Daniel, has your God saved you?" And from the darkness a voice replied, "My God sent his angel and shut the lions' mouths." Daniel was lifted out, unharmed. His accusers, thrown in. They didn't even reach the floor. Darius decreed that all should tremble before the God of Daniel. The final chapters of Daniel's life shift to prophecy and visions of the future. He saw 4 great beasts rising from the sea, empires to come. He saw a vision of the Ancient of Days and the Son of Man receiving eternal dominion. He saw battles between kings of the north and south, a timeline of suffering and salvation. Some of these visions pointed to Antiochus Epiphanes. Others reached beyond time itself, toward the Messiah and the final judgment. Even Daniel, wise as he was, did not understand everything he saw. But he was told, "Go your way, Daniel. You shall rest, and shall stand in your allotted place at the end of the days." Daniel's story is more than lions and dreams. It's a story of faith under pressure, of standing firm when the world tries to mold you, of a God who reveals mysteries, protects the faithful, and rules above all kings. In every regime, in every trial, Daniel remained the same, devoted, humble, and unshaken. If this story inspired you, share it. Leave a comment with your favorite moment. And don't forget to subscribe, because more epic stories from the Bible are coming soon. Until next time, stand firm, pray boldly, live faithfully.